Okay, welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4, Nationalist China, episode 12. For Explorminate, with me, Deleted Kingdoms. And it all kicked off in the last episode. We went on the offensive. At 1 o'clock in the morning, thousands of Chinese troops swarmed over the Yellow River line, which was here, out of their fortifications, snuck across the river in the dead of the night, and overrun thinly spread Japanese positions. The Japanese were taken completely by surprise, and we've managed to push away all the way north over the past few weeks in a lightning advance, just outnumbering the Japanese, really. They'd spread their divisions so thinly in an attempt to outflank our fortified line here. They just spread themselves out. They've been smashing themselves against the anvil of the Yellow River line for years and suffered horrific casualty. Let's look at the casualties here. So they've suffered their Greater Eastern Asian Co-Prosperity Sphere, as they like to call their little alliance, has suffered over 1 million casualties now, whereas ours is sitting at not even 500,000. The key thing is we have 2.6, nearly 2.7 million men in our manpower pool. And if we look at the Japanese manpower pool, it's down to an estimated maximum, with their current conscription laws, 162,000 men. Since going on the offensive, because we are, at the minute, volunteer only, our population is volunteer, and we're not even conscripting people yet. We're just asking for volunteers. And since the offensive was sprung, the number of volunteers coming forward has actually increased. We've increased the size of our infantry divisions as well. That's all we're really fighting with. Infantry divisions, a handful of dilapidated aircraft. There are some engineers attached, and we have some artillery pieces attached. Let's just have a look at one of our divisions, just to remind myself about how their templates here. So this division here, for example, has 4,000 men in it, and this one here, 4,000. I thought it was more than that. Looking at the wrong ones. Here we go. These are the Shujinchuan infantry division. Has 8,000 men. They're 99% division equipment ratio supplied. 38 75mm guns. They're using Type 88, 24, some American, and what's this? Some basic infantry equipment from one of our Chinese allies. That's all we're fighting with, really, and we're fighting against the Japanese divisions. You can see here the Japanese divisions are quite thinly spread. There's a concentration of Japanese troops here. They're defending their port here. This is one of the ports they're using to be resupplied, East Hebei. What I aim to do is actually push round through into Manchuria, or Manchukyo, as the Japanese have renamed it. And we do have, this is a, if we look at the province here, we have this as a core state, and we get a bonus for fighting on core territory due to our one of our buffs anyway, I think, which is good. So what we want to do is come around here, take this deep water port, this one and this one here at Liaotong, and this one at Dalian, and maybe even liberate Korea. We should really fight and try and take Helsinki, which is the capital of Manchuria here. But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. We are on the offensive all along the east of the front here. We do have another army over here on the west, where again the Japanese are quite thinly spread, so I'm tempted to take this 22 division army and give them some offensive orders and try and push the Japanese back up against this river here. I don't know if I'm getting too cocky though. I really don't know. Mongolia are communists, probably under Soviet influence. I'm gonna do it. Let's select this army. Let's give them an offensive line and just be quite. I mean, the Japanese are under so much pressure now. Let's be quite ambitious here. Put that in there. Let the clock tick over for a few hours. Let's see what our general thinks of that offensive plan. Fu Zoi. He estimates the plan value to be minus 14% and very risky. The enemy are inferior, but there is a large river crossing Divisions are still preparing, and some divisions are not in position, so let's give him a bit of time to prepare for that plan. To be fair, I've only given him a few hours. we don't have air superiority over the East China Sea, but I guess that's to be expected. Shanghai was taken by the Japanese, and we managed to push them out with some clever reserve manoeuvres. Computing machine is done, so that gives us a research bonus. It is 1939 now, so perhaps we should try. I'm tempted to get better decryption so we can see what the Japanese are up to. We've got yeah. We haven't really done much with industry so far. Let's go for concentrating industry. I don't think we're under threat from any strategic bombing campaign from the Japanese. And something else I wanted to look at. I mean, Beijing has been liberated. This is a major embarrassment for the Japanese. Beijing is under nationalist Chinese control. That is cause for celebration indeed. Cause for celebration indeed. It's a major. I think that's why we've got so many volunteers throwing themselves forward now. Excuse me while I take a sip of tea. God, I do waffle on, don't I? Let's look at what we're building, because at the minute we're concentrating on civilian factories and fortifications, improving infrastructure and repairing infrastructure. I'm thinking perhaps we should put these fortifications, seeing as we've gone on the offensive now. We'll continue building civilian factories for now. Let's look at logistics. We're not producing enough artillery or infantry equipment, but that's just because we've increased the size of our divisions. So they're being flooded. They need all that infantry equipment that was stockpiled. It's now gone to the front, and we're not producing enough of it. I mean, perhaps we should change these over to military factories. We'll take these ones off, which construction has not started on these yet. We'll add some military factories down here. I think this area is pretty safe now. We'll try and stay away from the coast. I think this area is pretty safe, and we'll give them priority. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Something else I want to look at, which is new, I think, in the game. There's some kind of skill tree for the generals. You'll have to excuse my ignorance. I don't know how to. They can they have like a skill tree. I've seen this, but I don't know anything about it. Anyway, I think let's let the offensive continue. Let's let the mobile reserve sort their lives out, and then we'll send them on in the offensive as well. Still waiting for divisions to get into position. That's fine. The Jiangxi clique wants to send 5 divisions. That's good. Send them to us. Where are they? Well, they're these ones on the coast, are they? We have to make sure these ports are protected. Cannot emphasise this enough. The reserve is still chilling out here in Shanghai. I was tempted to throw them in on the offensive, but I think I'm going to keep them here. I don't think we're completely safe from Japanese naval invasions just yet. Right, these are the divisions we've been given. Yep. Let's attach them to this reserve army that's about to go on the offensive then. In fact, not all of them. That's a few too many there. Let's take 3 off and assign them to this army here. There we go. We can modify our government. I can't remember what we were working towards, but let's have a look. Silent workhorse might be good. Popular figurehead increases stability. Stability is at 65, which is having a positive effect. Improve relations, political power game, ideology, drift defense. Our ideology is not really drifting anywhere. Tank designers, we're not building tanks. What about industry concerns? Shanghai electronics. Electronics research time. Industrial research times. Resource gain efficiency. let's just do industrial. Oh no, we can't select this one for some reason because we don't control Liaotung. However, that will change soon. Let's just leave that for the minute then, because Liaotung is here. I think we can give this army. We'll wait till they've taken all the objectives and then we'll give them a fresh offensive. Right, is the reserve army ready to go on the offensive? Are you ready to go? No. German right claims Memel. Okay, the Germans. The Germans are just like pushing their luck now. I think World War II in Europe is about to kick off. It is January 1939. Okay, there's a bit of red here. This is not good. Why are we suddenly struggling here? Right, I think we need to launch this offensive. The Japanese are attacking us here, but we're managed to defend. I think we should. Let's just go on the offensive now. Hopefully, take the pressure off this front. Here we go. We were working towards eradicating army corruption, so let's look at decisions available. Where were we on this? Because, yeah, army reform, this next one we're kicking in 34 days. War of National Liberation. What has that given me? This focus currently has no effect. Change the world situation may affect this. With the Japanese assault defeated, we can now go on the offensive and liberate all of our territory. That's great, but why is this not having any effect? National War of Liberation currently has no effect. War of Anti-Imperialism. Scorched Earth Tactics requires war of resistance. Just unlocks tactics. Forced conscription, we don't need that yet. Industrial evacuations. Well, I don't think we need to evacuate our industry now. Fortify Shanghai, no. Nope. The Taiyuan Arsenal gives us more building slots and adds 2 military factories. This may be good. Gain a research slot. We've already got this, have we not? No, because we don't have enough factories. So in order to get more free factories, we need to build rural reconstruction. That might be good for. There's a lot of troops traipsing their way across China, especially as we like our volunteer divisions from the south and stuff. This would help develop our industry a lot. I'm gonna rural reconstruction. Why not? I think the tide of war is starting to turn, although there is a lot of red here. But hopefully, with this offensive, we're currently losing. This is not good. The Japanese, I think, are putting up more of a staunch defence now. We kind of had them on the run when we took them by surprise. We've retaken Beijing, but I think they've. Okay, so we've taken this deep water port here at Hebei. I think if we can take these two, then we'll do some damage. Easier said than done. Right, another offensive line then. Let's just try and take this coastal area and cut off this peninsula. The enemy are inferior. Right, just launch this offensive. We need to keep the momentum going. I'm not having these defeatist generals tell me that this is not a good idea. I'm not convinced. It looks like we're having a harder time of here on the left. But we're killing Japanese soldiers, that's the thing. Their casualties now stand at 1.1 million. We're at 473,000. Their manpower pool has gone up. They must have changed their conscription laws. They now have 300,000 troops, but it's not a sniff on our 2.6 million. Man for man, we're just going to beat these guys. If we keep killing Japanese at the rate that we are, and we've just got new infantry equipment, this is good. Let's stop producing this. Happy days. Let's research something else. Now, so we've got a discount here on even more improved infantry equipment because of our deals with the French. Now, do we get support weapons? Can Cavalry soft attack motorised, mechanised, leg infantry soft attack plus 5%. Let's get better support weapons then, seeing as we've got a discount. It's all going on. Japan has 0% towards capitulation because we don't hold any of their victory points, but okay, I think we are making some advances here, perhaps not in the centre. But if we make enough advances here, perhaps, although we are spreading ourselves quite thinly, perhaps we can cut them off. We just need to keep inflicting more casualties. I think we need to extend this line here. It's you, is it not? Is this army not on the offensive? Yes, it is. Are we getting too cocky though? That's the thing. Has army reform kicked in yet? Where was it? I think it has, you know. Army reform, yes. And then lessons of war, we need 200 army experience for this, and this will get rid of our incompetent officers. That will probably be the next port of call for us. Oh, please, 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 hopefully we can. Yes, we're making advances. We need to spearhead up here, I think, and cut them off against the Mongolian border. Let's try that. I haven't got a clue what I'm doing, but let's do the spearhead. Oh no, that's the wrong army. What am I doing? No, no. It's this one, isn't it? Uh-oh. Dangerous naval invasion. Okay, they're attacking here. That's okay. We have our reserve down in Shanghai. Let's just move them north. Right, let's just get something with this political power. Military high command. There must be something. Air superiority, army logistics, division attrition minus. Yes. Now we're going on the offensive. Attrition is going to be more of a problem. Can we cut these divisions off here? It says there's no divisions assigned. What am I doing? Okay, right. Let me just put a regular offensive line up to the Mongolian border. Let's halt the offensive for the time being. Give them time to recover. Okay, we're fighting our way around with the intention of getting these two deep water ports here. Denying their use for the Japanese. So far, so good, I think. Okay, the Japanese have a bigger manpower pool than we thought, but it's still nothing on ours. Are we a little bit close to the Mongolian border? Things appear to have slowed down here. Now this army here, our second army, I think we need to give them more offensive because they're concentrated here and we're fighting up way up into the mountains. Let's just give them another fight our way up to this river and around there. Something quite modest. German troops have crossed into Bohemia and Moravia, ostensibly to restore order to the regions in the wake of the collapsing Czechoslovakian government. In Prague, the occupying forces announced creation of an autonomous protectorate within the German Reich. With German support, Slovakia has been declared independent under the leadership of Joseph Tiso. The nation of Czechoslovakia is no more. So much for peace. I think we're making advances here just too quickly. I take it that if we fight our way up through here, up to the Mongolian border, then all these Japanese troops here are going to run out of supply. I guess I don't know. Let's put an offensive line to try and take the capital here. I think maybe we're spreading ourselves too thin. King of Yugoslavia, I think, has abdicated. Czechoslovakia is no more. World War II is about to kick off in Europe. Right, I'm hoping we can just either advance here or here and cut off lots of Japanese divisions. Our attacks here are not going well though. This is not good. Mining commission. Resource gain efficiency. Increases inflation though. I don't know if we should go this way. Right, I think I'm going to call the episode there. I'm going to have a think about what to do next because I'm very conscious of the fact that perhaps we've been a bit too ambitious. And the Japanese are starting to put up tough resistance in some of these places. We need to sit back off camera and think about what we want to do next. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Click on like if you did, and I will see you next time. Thank you.